Yo, what's up, guys? I'm here showing today with the second episode of Team Building. As far as the Crown Tundra, this is the second. I know I did like 6 cities, but yeah, that's pretty much why I said it like that. But yeah, I'm using Kyurem today, and if you guys want to say live with this team, let me know in the comments. Even though I already did one, but it's mostly for my new subs. Just to show how the team works. And welcome, by the way, to all the new people that came in. Should be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy my style of building and things like that. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Gonna be using Kyurem, the Beast, the Menace. A lot of people want this thing banned, which is understandable. I mean, only has what 2 good switchings, being like Galarian Slowking and Scizor. It's pretty much it. Like Blissey, if your specs Focus Blast, just gets murked. There's like 46 to 50 max or something like that. So this is really oppressive versus balance and things like that. So yeah, but we're not using specs, we're using sub. The biggest draw to this set over specs is typical structures would say Lando, Tran, Pex just get ravaged, as you don't have to predict. You just sub and watch them squirm. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, Blissey also loses 1v1 due to pressure. Seismitoss is never breaking his sub because Kyurem has over 100 HP, and with the investment, it's just, it's not doing it. And then, you can just sit there, roost, freeze fish, eventually force them to switch. And it's even better if their boots are knocked off. Say they come into Torn, and you have rocks. It makes it a lot easier to break through. So. And that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you're also the spooky game, I already know how this works, so I'm not gonna keep explaining. But yeah, so too much Kyurem. Speed investment is for offensive Lando, which is 309, and then rest in everywhere else. So yeah, it's Kyurem. Now the main answers to this set in particular would be Spadef, Corviknight, Ferrothorn. Those do not take much from freeze dry. Those are like 20-30%, so they can just sit there, break yourself with, say, body press, iron head, and just roost, things like that. So it's not really the best situation. Assault Vest, Melmetal, Scizor. Those are the switching as far as steals. There's other ones like Clef and Folk, but obviously no point mentioning those because Magnezone does not deal with that. So we're coming to the next member, Magnezone. Traps and removes those steals. Helmet is actually something I came up with a while back. Idea was to always be able to punish core view turning, trying to avoid the trap, which people will always do. So the more chip it takes, eventually you'll be forced to roost, which then allows Zone to checkmate either way. Therefore, opening the door for Kyurem. And Rocky also has many other applications, such as chipping away at Melmetal, because they're gonna have to go for the bash when you're behind the sub. So you get like a free 30%. Weavile when they triple Axu or Shifu. They hit you and are ready at 40%, making it much easier to revenge kill. Moonblast from Fini now guaranteed kills Weavile. Victini Bolt Strike kills Shifu, etc. Lastly, sub. He just abuses Pharaoh, usually allowing for another kill afterward. And yeah, just pretty much Zone. Not much else to say about it. Really just brings the entire team together because, all 3 of Kyurem, Fini, and Hippo do not like Ferrothorn. Otherwise, it'd just be very annoying. Like the version of this team had specs, but my buddy Ant actually used this team a lot during OLT, and he was like, "Yo, the Pharaoh's like too annoying. I want to run body press Zone." I was like, bet. So I changed it, and it just works beautifully on this team. Much better than the specs. Specs helps deal a little bit better with like Karma and Clef, but you can work around it with like Victini and stuff. So it's not. I don't think that's the optimal set. So definitely body press. Really nice. Also pressures Blissey a lot too, which is important for Kyurem. So yeah, this is that. And then third slot we got Fini. Helps take on fighting types, as Kyurem and Zone just get smacked by them. So, for example, our Shifu, Buzzwole, Holucha, Dragapult to a degree. You don't really want to be switching this into Shadow Balls constantly because don't have any speed depth. So just got to be mindful. And SD Chomp, those are like the main things for these. Therefore, Defogger on the team, just a fantastic mon. Knock, I think, is the best set in general if you're running Defog, so you're not just sitting there being passive. Especially alongside Kyurem, just getting rid of Assault Vest from Slowking. Melmetal is very good, as those are the typical Fini switching. So bait those in. This paved the way for Kyurem, and then it's pretty much Fini. Heavily Fist Death for Shifu Weavile. So here we have Torn. T mainly on the team to check Kartana Rillaboom. Huge annoyance for stall. Because I've seen you use this many times. There's nothing that fully walls Torn on there, bar Zapdos, which invites both Kyurem and Hippowdon. Torn is like high key one of the best mons in the metagame, I think. Just smacks any fat build. Defensive grounds like Lando, Chomp don't run rock moves usually, so it's super free as well. There's really not much else to go into with Torn. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Torn does. Speed is enough for base 110s, like Random, Lottie, Gengar. If I remember correctly, the spread lives Lele Psychic from full, which is nice. Like in an emergency, you can just throw this in if you don't want to throw in Victini and take damage. And if Torn is like not useful, you can just throw it in there, knock, do your thing. The 60 defense is just random. Helps a bit more with taking those physical grass moves, bandage, smart strikes, things like that. So Torn next. Hippowdon takes on Tapu Koko, Zeraora, Dracozolt, Dragapult, Bisharp, shuts down Aurora Veil. Let me go to that right now. Shuts down Ninetales. Rain. It's just great, man. I love Hippowdon. One of my favorites. Combined with Zone, it's especially lethal. Because Korv would never be able to defog on Hippo without being crushed. So they're put in an awkward spot where they keep taking, Stealth Rock plus helmet damage, quickly freeing up Kyurem. Just be careful of like Specs, Surf Polt, or Grass Knot Coco. Can scout with Fini and Zone respectively. So good to keep in mind. And this Hippo, I'm not gonna keep talking about him. Lastly, we have Victini, probably the most solid offensive check to Lele there is. Can come in at least twice and just throw V creates. Also Mercs Blissey, which will otherwise be hard to straight up kill outside Zone. Baitson, Heatran, Pex, Slowbro, and Bulky Grounds for Kyurem. And just great. Just great synergy. Encore is like super clutch every time somehow. Like catches like Calm Mind, Fini, Mew, SD Chomp if you're a madman. And I just really like this set. Band with Trick is definitely an option as well for instant firepower. Like I mentioned in the video. Issue with that is Lele plus rocks, so you have to be mindful because Psychic already does 40, so that means you only switch in once. So, but Ban is definitely good. I think it's worth trying out because it can just win versus a lot of teams, especially stall. Like if their only fire resist is say Pex, like you just bow strike. And if you get the turns right, like it's gonna be very difficult for them to beat that set. So, that's the thing to try it. I'm gonna actually put it here so you guys can see. And that's pretty much the team. Really solid one. Now, as far as weaknesses of the team, I'd say the main one is Slowking. If you decide combine with Urshifu. mainly because typically what you'd be doing versus Slowking is throwing in Hippowdon, because it basically just walls it. There's nothing you can do besides Scald Burn. You throw it in as a future sight, and they hard switch to Shifu on Hippowdon, and then you're in a really bad spot because Fini just gets blasted by the combination of future sight plus surging strikes. It does what, like 70? Yeah, especially if the Slowking is infested. So what I like to do with this team to play around that is just position myself in a way where they can't have Urshifu in with the future sight, going off at the same time. So like instead of like, even if I do go Hippowdon on the Slowking, I'd like double the Torn, knowing that the Shifu is coming, and then force them to switch again, or just fire for Hurricane, just to make sure they don't do anything crazy. But you can just U-turn because they're not gonna stand, or even go hard Torn on Slowking, because I don't think Sludge Bomb does too much. Just to avoid the situation, just don't let them set that up, because that's just very dangerous. Unless you don't need Hippowdon in the matchup. And like really the only thing that can take Surging Strikes plus Future Sight is Zone. Everything else just takes way too much. So yeah, there's a lot of things you gotta keep in mind there. But yeah, other than that, there's no real like huge thing to worry about. I guess Basef, but Basef is like one of those mons that just has very small list of counters. There's only Blissey, T-Tar, and it's not like I can throw those in this team. It just wouldn't work. Every member is important. So yeah, that's pretty much a team. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you find success with the team, let me know. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Peace.